Welcome back. So here's a live look this morning at planes that are in the sky right now. This is courtesy of Flight Aware. Many passengers and crew members are likely thinking about the mid-air collision in Washington. Some may be scared or anxious, but they still have to travel. So how do we deal with all of that anxiety? Licensed mental health counselor Shantala Boss is here to help. So first off, good morning, Shantala. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is something that I think immediately hit me, and I'm sure a lot of people, yesterday. My dad happened to be on a flight to New Zealand. My mom's flying here this weekend. And everyone, I think, is thinking like, oh my gosh, like what if that was me, or could that happen to me? And so there's going to be naturally, I think, this sort of anxiety about flying again. What are some, ways people can maybe cope through this? And if they know they got to take a flight, what can we do?
Well, like you said, recognizing it's natural, and when we're seeing these things and hearing these things, of course our anxiety is going to spike and we're going to feel a lot of different emotions. So recognizing that, and when it comes to flying, I really think planning ahead for the flight. Are there things maybe that you need to do differently with your seating arrangements, or do you need to arrive a little bit more early? And what books could you download? What podcasts could you listen to? There's so many apps out there to help you through, like grounding exercises,
Sure.
breathing, meditation. So I think preparing ourselves before the flight, even if you have to get on a plane and you're feeling extreme anxiety and stress, possibly talking to your doctor about something to help calm your nerves is always an option as well, because if you have to fly, you have to fly.
Right, and I think that's the thing that a lot of us realize is, well, if I got to get to New York or to California or the West Coast or wherever, flying is still the safest option. And I think that's something that we heard from the Transportation Secretary yesterday when reporters asked, can you assure Americans that it is safe to fly still? And he said, yes, I can. It is still the safest mode of transportation. Even though what happened yesterday was tragic, all in all, it is still safe to fly. And so I think remembering that and hearing that hopefully can give some people like reassurance that we're going to be okay.
Right, absolutely. It's a very rare occurrence, but it's extremely tragic.
Yeah.
So once we've heard about it, maybe staying away from any more news on that if it's causing heightened anxiety. And for people that do avoid flying as a result of this incident, right now in the height of things, it's understandable, but not to continue that, because when we continue to avoid something we're afraid of, we develop phobia, and then it becomes a real big problem. So recognizing it, developing those coping strategies, but making sure to get back on a plane within a reasonable amount of time.
Yes, that is a very good point. You kind of forget about that. You don't want it to go on too long to the point that it could cripple, you and maybe your future travels and whatnot. I was on Twitter yesterday and I saw someone say that they got on a flight, American Airlines flight, and a pilot came on to reassure passengers, we're going to get there safely. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that we're all going to get there safe. And I think hearing that too, that's got to give you some reassurance that we all know what's going on and we're going to do everything we can to make sure everyone's safe.
Absolutely. Talking about it with people you trust is so highly important to reducing anxiety.
All right. Shantala, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
It's good to see you.
Appreciate it. All right, let's check back in with Jess this morning on our forecast. Good morning, Jess.